Hi Gearslutz, I'm Will and I'm with ROLI. We are a London-based music technology company and we have invented a new musical instrument, the Seaboard Rise. The Seaboard Rise is touch sensitive. It lets you shape sound and make music through touch, through what we call 5 dimensions of touch. And my friend Gerald here is going to show you in a few minutes what that means. If you just look at this interface, you'll see that it's very new, it's very different, it's very black. And you'll also see that it looks more or less like a piano keyboard. It follows the order of notes of a piano, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, but in place of white and black keys, it has what we call key waves, which are made of soft silicon. They have sort of the consistency of a wetsuit. And they let you shape sound, interact with sound, and express yourself in totally new ways. Just like on a piano, you can make music through how hard you strike the surface, and Gerald will show you what that sounds like. Great. So that sounded cool, but we're still pretty much in the realm of traditional keyboard or acoustic instruments. That is one dimension of touch for making music, and the Seaboard Rise gives you 4 additional ones. For instance, through a movement that we call press, Gerald can shape the sound and deepen its qualities by how hard he's pressing into these soft silicon key waves. So that's really cool. You'll have heard that was a wind instrument, a flute instrument. And Gerald was using pressure or press to simulate that special sound that breathiness gives to a flute, possible through the dimension of touch called press. Onto the 3rd dimension of touch, we call this glide. And this is simply moving your finger from side to side along a key wave or indeed along the entire surface, which allows you to achieve pitch bend similar to vibrato on a string instrument. Then there's a 4th dimension of touch that's really cool. We call it slide, and it does not exist on any other musical instrument. Through this intuitive motion, up and down along the key waves, Gerald can change one sound into another. For instance, he could turn a string sound into a horn sound. He could make a bass guitar sound from a finer to a coarser sound. Anything he wants. It can be programmed to this one intuitive motion. And the 5th dimension of touch we call lift, and that's simply the speed of liftoff from the key wave surface. Sort of like a double bass. If you lift off the keys very quickly, it might cut off the sound faster, and if you lift off gently, it'll create more of a lingering resonance. In fact, just like all the other dimensions of touch, you can program this one simple movement to do anything. So those are the 5 dimensions of touch on a Seaboard Rise. Strike, press, glide, slide, and lift. You've seen now how a lot of these movements are very revolutionary on a keyboard interface, but they're actually borrowed, many of them, from the world of acoustic instruments. So they're intuitive. Even if you aren't an instrumentalist, you know them from handheld objects that we have in the digital world, like touchscreen phones. And you've also heard how having all of these dimensions of touch at your fingertips opens up a whole new world of sound control and music making. And that's exactly what we're trying to do with this. It's brand new and we're just beginning to see the effects, but it has combined a lot of the expressiveness that people know through traditional acoustic instruments like violins and guitars, and wind instruments like flutes, brass instruments like saxophones. It's taking all of that, that expression and that soul that you can only find on these instruments, and it's combining it with the range and the versatility that you can only find in electronic music. You can bring any type of sound you want onto this instrument, and then within that sound, you can mold it and shape it in infinite ways. So this is revolutionary, it's new. The Seaboard Rise came out 8 months ago. So it's still, we're still just getting started. This model that you're looking at is a 4-octave model called the Seaboard Rise 49 that's brand new. It came out in late January, and it only started shipping about a month ago. So this is $1,200. It's sold through www.roli.com. I'm now going to show you the original Seaboard Rise, which is a 2-octave model. It does the same thing. It's just one has 2 octaves and one has 4. We're calling this the Seaboard Rise 25 because it has 25 key waves, and it sells for $800, also at roli.com, and both of them sell at retail partners around the world. It is, in addition to the sound control that it offers to musicians, it's also incredibly convenient. It's not very heavy, and it's also wireless. It works over Bluetooth so that you can basically have a high-powered studio that you can carry under your arm. You can take all the cords out, and it works over Bluetooth. I'm taking it around the cafe, the studio, in my car to my gig, and it is communicating wirelessly right now with Equator. We'll show you the user interface of Equator. This is our software synthesizer and sound engine. It's custom made. Our software team developed it at ROLI to work expressly with multi-dimensional instruments like the Seaboard Rise. It's built for the Rise is built for Equator. They don't work exclusively with each other. You can make Equator work with a range of other hardware and software instruments, but they're designed for each other. And this will let you edit and fine-tune all of the sounds that you're playing on the Rise and customize the Rise to meet your own preferences. So we're excited about this. We're only beginning to see the real effect on music, but we think and we hope that it will have a really big effect. It's not often that there's a truly new instrument that's put out in the world. 300 years ago when they went from the harpsichord to the pianoforte, that was a big deal because you went from just a sort of like single dimensional instrument where you were hitting a key to having this one dimension of touch, which was being able to affect the sound through the force of your strike. That was 300 years ago, and there's now a new instrument that gives you 5 dimensions of touch for sound control. And with every new YouTube video we see of people all around the world who are doing this, we get excited at ROLI seeing what people are doing in the real world. So for any other information, check out www.roli.com. And Gerald, who's one of the foremost seaboardists in the world right now, wants to play a 30-second segment that will bring together a lot of these 5 dimensions of touch in a live performance. Thanks.
Thank you.